And the South Park sequel will be coming out in 4 different editions. A standard, a gold, a steel box gold, and a collector's edition. The gold editions will have a season pass, a steel bookcase, 3 adult South Park postcards, and an extra in-game costume perk. The collector's edition will have a 6-inch figure of the Coon. We all love the Coon, don't we, gentlemen?
I'm not answering that. Coon and Friends, yes, we're all
Coon Friends.
We're all fans.
Yes. If you pre-order, you receive the Stick of Truth for free, and the offer will be available until January 1st, 2018.
And don't forget that if you pre-order, you get Tally as a summon as well.
Wow, did not know that.
And Mo, did you play the original South Park?
No,
Stick of Truth?
no, I actually didn't. It went under the radar for me. I got bombarded with too many games, and then I overlooked it. I know
Too
a lot
many
of people,
games. You played 20 games at once.
I know, but I was finishing other games at the time. So I'm actually really excited. I'm actually going to pre-order, and so I can get the first one and play through that one.
Really good game.
Yeah. So when Rich told me about the mechanics of the actual game, I thought it was different. I didn't think it was good. I didn't know what to expect from the game.
It's a very dumbed-down RPG, but still there's enough in there that'll keep you interested, especially the humor.
Yeah, so. And I like RPGs, so I was blown away. I was like, okay.
Yeah, but it's not gonna. It won't be the same as Persona.
Right.
I just want you to keep your expectations for that, but it is 150% South Park kind of comedy.
It's fine for me. I'm dipping in.
And Rich, October 17th, will you be picking it up?
I already pre-ordered. I already got my update from Amazon that they do have an official release date after I got it's been moved back to January 1st, 2018 is what the placeholder had been.
And did you get the Steelbook case edition?
Yeah, with the 3 postcards.
Because that's what you got for Injustice, right? Yeah. The Steelbook, the gold edition. So you didn't want the Coon? 6 inches of Coon?
No.
No. Can't
it's
handle
like
it?
It's an RC. But he's on his tricycle, and so it's an RC thing. And it's like, that's nice, but there's plenty of kids that could play with that.
I'll probably go the same route you did with the Steelbook, and it comes with a season pass too. So might as well dive in. Did
the first one have a season pass? Like season pass of what?
There was not any DLC. They thought they had left it where they could have added it, but there was no season pass for them to have not fulfilled or anything like that.
And the first game was delayed heavily as well.
But
is that correct?
The biggest reason was because of the THQ bankruptcy.
Okay.
So
this delay is just really odd to me. So last E3, they showed it at the Ubisoft conference, and they announced December 6, 2016 release date. So showed it in E3 in June. It's going to come out in 5 months, South Park, The Fractured Butthole, and it looks fun. Like the storyline, it looks cool. It's more like they're superheroes on 2 different sides, correct?
Yeah, because they were using Civil War, which hadn't been released at the time.
Yeah,
as kind of like we're going to do our own Civil War,
which was already it was a sell for me once I saw it. I was like, what? All right, cool.
The timing would have been great, but then after the December 6th, they actually delayed it in September. So last September, so 3 months after they showed it in June. It's going to be delayed until Q1 2017. And then in March, they announced delayed next fiscal year. We don't have a date.
Yeah.
Now it comes out October 17th. So a 10-month delay. Went from December 6, 2016 now to October 17, 2017. Rich, what do you think would cause that delay?
I think it's storyline content.
Because of the Civil War that they were trying to hit that time, they just rechanged the entire story?
No, I think they're still going to have some of that stuff. I think that they probably had a joke that they were building to, and because of the delay, probably they were having some mechanical problems, stuff like that. They were probably building it so that they would have DLC available on a somewhat regular schedule when they're implementing that stuff that they had hoped for the first one but didn't get to actually add in. Someone probably made the joke that they were going to get to, and if you beat them to the joke, that's not South Park. So I bet you they went, that doesn't work. Or it could be, remember Batman v Superman came out too. They could have been going for Civil War, going, this is the funny thing, and then when they go, think about it, you have 2 sides of kids, and they're fighting over, both of them are, their mom's name is Martha. I mean, that joke writes itself for South Park. So I could see that either they were going for that, or they didn't know, and then they saw Batman. They're like, we got to take on that we're gonna do, especially because the whole. Remember the early seasons, Cartman's mom was a big whore, all that kind of stuff. It would make sense if they were trying to tell a joke and they needed to flesh it out more because they had to redo the script. That makes sense to me.
I could see a little bit of the gaming mechanics because they did kind of switch the gaming mechanics from the first.
They did, yeah. They
do know
some
that,
stuff, yeah.
So I could see maybe they were experimenting a little bit more with some of that stuff and trying to get it to work. Yeah. And it could be the same route as with the writing as well. I could see a lot of jokes leading into what they were releasing, leading into this year. Now there's tons of stuff they can put into there, so I can see them. It had to do more with writing than anything else.
I think it's been challenging for them for making games and writing for games because their TV show, they can do an episode like that same week, and whatever happened in the news,
72-hour turnaround.
Yeah, 72-hour turnaround. They can make it quick. While in a video game, they can't do that.
Yeah.
With the story they're trying to tell, make those jokes that'd be funny, but then by the time the game's out,
when they write the joke and then when they put it in a script and then they start coding for all that stuff and then the thing gets manufactured and put out there and then we, with our busy lives, we finally get to that part of the game, that could be a 3-year-old joke. That's not going to be effective. You have to have something that's kind of a timeless sentiment as opposed to a specific, hey, remember David Hasselhoff being drunk and eating a cheeseburger off his kitchen floor? You go, yeah, but that was like 5 years ago. What are you...
5.
What are you doing, man? So you have to have something that's a little bit more timeless.
Was that an issue with the original, with the Stick of
No,
Truth?
but that was... A lot of that it was they had redone the script because of the THQ thing. They threw out that script and basically kind of started again because they knew we don't even have a publisher now. I don't know if we're going to have a game. And then when they got the assets bought, we do, but it's been a year and a half of kind of limbo trying to figure out what's going to go on with THQ and the new ownership and all that kind of stuff. So,
do you think the October 17th is a good release date for that game to try and stand out?
I think it is. Basically, with all the superheroes and everything, it's close to Halloween. So,
and it still
I didn't
fits
think
with the
about
holiday.
that.
It still fits with the holiday window.
Yeah.
And you'll probably have the new season will be going around that time so they can market it heavily.
Ooh,
so
I never thought about that. New season would go with... Because the season went with the Stick of Truth. Is that correct? Or did it lead up until... Because I remember there was the PS4, Xbox One battle.
But there's no direct, but yeah, it's kind of... They were able to advertise at the same time and it kind of felt like we were doing that.
So hopefully they can incorporate that into the TV show, make it fun, how they did with the Stick of Truth.
It would be smart marketing.
I just don't want it to get lost because again, in the fall, there's going to be a few big games that are
no.
losers.
The first game I think was well received enough, and it's South Park. It's going to kind of sell itself.
There was a bunch of streams on the first game, so it knew a lot.
It's so much fun to just if you just wanted to watch the game, it's fun.
Yeah,
I mean the first game, it's fantasy based, so you have 3 classes. So there's basically mage, and then there's warrior, soldier, and then there's your thief, paladin character, and then there's Jew. So
there's what?
Jew, because Cartman's basically the dungeon master. So if you want to be the evil character that's an anti-hero, you would choose Jew, and that was funny.
What was the powers of a Jew?
I don't remember. I wasn't brave enough to try.
I don't.
My haircut, I don't think I'm allowed to. So.
And Mo, you will reserve it, and you'll get the Stick of Truth.
Yep.
Are you going to play Stick of Truth first, or the Fractured
No, I will
Bubble?
play the first one. Yeah, I'm always the person that always plays whatever the first one is going into the new iteration. So I'll have to get to that first.
Hopefully you can find a place that pre-orders that you can get that code or get that game first.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see what happens.
Because I know some are waiting later until you get the game, some or now I'm not sure which retailers.
I think if you actually put cash down, so like GameStop, I think they'll probably have it available for you. Because they usually have those demo discs, and that's what it would be. Where like Amazon, I didn't put any money on it, so they didn't send me a code because I could always cancel it in the next 6 months. And then you sent me, or you gave me a downloadable code, which I know it's not an actual manufactured thing, but you've lost an asset that you could have sold to somebody else, and then you didn't get any money from me, so...
But yeah, gold. We're going gold, just in case any DLCs come out. Sure, it'll be story driven. So
no, that's part of it. If they sell you a season pass, they have to provide one. Oh. So.
And do you think this release date will stick, or will it be delayed again?
I think it should stick. I think this is. I can see them sticking to this. with the whole starting of a new season and also being close to Halloween as well, I think it would sell really well. I can see that being a big thing too.
They could be, maybe that's part of the delay too, is they were trying to time the release to go with the new season, and maybe
because the season starts in September usually.
Yeah, so maybe they were thinking like we could release it now, but we could do a little bit more polish, and it would come out in July with whatever delay. And they're like, well, why wouldn't we just hold it for another few months and have it come out with the new season, as opposed to in the middle of the drought when everybody's at Disneyland, as opposed to at home watching TV or playing video games. Yeah. And maybe they just tried to, because October 17th is a very odd time to pick. If you were just going for, let's give it the holiday window, it would be that middle to late November,
which I would highly stay away.
So October 17th, who goes, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Well, Assassin's Creed is usually the last week of October, usually when they release Assassin's Creed.
And this is an Ubisoft title, so
that's
right.
What I'm thinking is maybe Ubisoft might have confidence in Assassin's Creed and put it in November,
or maybe they have like a massive media buy for Assassin's Creed, but if you have, they have a couple extra spaces where they could, an extra week of stuff that they can put out there, and okay, we got SelfBerk we can put on there.
It would be hysterical if Assassin's Creed, released a little bit earlier or whatever, and then they release SelfBerk, and then they put an Assassin's Creed costume into this. That would be hysterical.
They do that in all the other games.
Right, so they do. And Ubisoft is known for doing that.
Oh, you have Kyle, and he's got like the watchdogs. He's got
it would be
over his face.
Hysterical.
Got a trench coat and a fedora.
Would kill me. I think it would be so funny.
But even if they stick to that last week in October, they're two very different games, two different markets.
Yeah.
I don't think Ubisoft
I don't think they're going to have a problem.
One is going to get the SelfBerk, one will get Assassin's Creed. Or if you're these two fellows, you're just
get
going
them both.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a real gamer.
Get them both and buy every single game that is released.
Most buys.
But I do think, Rich, do you think the release date will stay?
Yeah. That's an odd one to pick. So.
Yeah, I think it is right. We know it's a great market. I think you are right that they can have it done in July or this summer if they wanted to, but perfect marketing, get it during the season. You have at least half a season to market towards it, to build up to it, and then have it released October 17th.
And that also, with that kind of thinking where they would have been ready for a July release, that gets it, and I don't want day one DLC, but if you have it where right there around Christmas you've got a full DLC campaign that's available for the season pass holders, it's ready to go, and then a couple costumes, whatever they're holiday themed or whatever. That's perfect. Like that's another reason for the impulse buys at Best Buy and all that kind of stuff to pick it up. It's already got extra content. So
and that's our take on the SelfBerk, the Fractured Butthole release date of October 17th. Please let us know what you think of the delay and if you will be picking it up.